I don't believe it.
Oh.
Is that Mary Ryan?
Roger, what happened? Where did I get you?
In the nose.
Oh, it isn't broken.
No, I'm not sure.
I was thinking that Mother and Don would be wondering where I was, so I just bolted off the elevator.
You're telling me.
I don't normally go about doing things like this.
No, just about every 6 years or so.
What a good memory you have.
But there's a big difference since the last time.
Is there? What difference?
Well, the last time you were underage.
Who is it? Who's there?
Mrs. Ryan, it's Jack Finelli. May I speak with you for a moment?
Oh, the Mrs. Ryan one is my mother-in-law, isn't it? She's downstairs.
No, actually, I was hoping to have a few words with you.
Yeah? Well, sure. I'm, sort of a mess, but, the baby's been cutting a tooth, and I couldn't do anything today except look after him.
You look fine to me.
That's very nice. Thank you. I don't know what you want to see me about.
Well, I've been collecting a lot of background material about your husband, and obviously, if I'm going to get the whole story, you're one of the most important people for me to talk to.
I am?
Absolutely.
This is an interview. For the paper?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Does that bother you?
No.
I'd like to know anything you can tell me about Frank. About you and Frank. Sometimes a wife knows more about his husband than his own family. And if I use your name, I promise to spell it right.
Delia Reed Ryan. R-E-I-D.
Mary told me.
You've been spending a lot of time with Mary, haven't you?
Well, we've sort of become friends.
You know, you're not like the other guys she goes out with.
I'm not? In what way?
Well, they're from school or from the neighborhood. It must be very exciting to her to be with someone like you.
There are moments when I think she likes it, and there are moments when I'm not so sure.
You know, you must know an awful lot about Frank from Mary. Do you know that out of all the Ryan family, I think that she's really the closest to him?
Well, Mary's told me all about the Frank Ryan she knows. But what I'm curious about now is the Frank Ryan you know.
Well, I'll try. We started seeing each other when I was about 18. I had just gotten this job at the telephone company. That was a long time ago.
About 6 years ago.
Yeah. He had seen me around, but he didn't notice me, if you know what I mean.
It's kind of hard to believe.
Oh, stop that. Well, anyway, we were sitting downstairs, and we got to talking, and I saw that how he was looking at me, and he liked me. You know the way a man likes a woman.
And you've been together ever since, and that brings us up to the present.
I couldn't believe it when Frank asked me to marry him. Do you know, in the lobby of our first apartment, I used to stare at the bell where it said Ryan, just trying to understand it meant me.
Well, how do you feel now, being the wife of Frank Ryan, the candidate?
Well, sometimes I like it, and sometimes I'm not so sure.
Frank must be out of the house a lot. Does that bother you?
Sometimes. Sometimes, I wish it could be like it was a couple of years ago. We had a lot of time together, and he was able to relax.
Pretty hard for someone in their first political campaign to take time off to relax.
He is always on the go. It's not like it used to be.
Mrs. Ryan, while Frank's on the go all the time, have you had any sense that he's been bothered by anything?
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, has he changed in any way? Like there's something on his mind?
Election.
Well, beyond that, has he seemed worried about anything?
Frank's not a worrier.
So I've heard. Well, did he seem concerned in any way?
Oh, he was concerned about a lot of things. Whether his being a Catholic would cost him a lot of voters. Whether people might think he was too young.
Did he seem, afraid?
Frank's not afraid of anything.
You didn't notice any change at all?
Oh, there were changes after the primary. What are all these questions about?
I'm just trying to get a feeling for how Frank was behaving before the accident.
He was behaving fine.
It's a hard accident to understand.
Is that a question?
Why do you ask that?
I don't know what you're getting at.
I'm just trying to find out what's been going on.
You've been asking questions for days.
Yeah.
Do you know something I ought to know about the accident?
I don't know anything.
The way you're looking at me.
It's my job to find things out.
Well, what is there to find out? Frank fell down a flight of stairs and he was hurt very, very bad. Now, I don't have a husband. And there's no father to my baby. What more is there to find out?
I always felt a little bad about that other time.
So did I.
I meant about Frank socking you.
Well, I can't say that I've ever blamed him. After all, you were only 15, although you didn't look like it. And I had lured you up to our house.
You didn't lure me anywhere. I went because I wanted to go. At that moment, that was exactly where I wanted to be.
You were mad.
I can't remember whether I was running away from the fight I had with my mother or running away from home. But when I came racing around that corner and knocked you down and almost broke your nose, and instead of lecturing me about watching where I was going, you treated me like an adult and offered me a Bloody Mary.
Well, I couldn't remember how old you were. You certainly looked like an adult.
It was a wonderful invitation. There you were, a grown man, treating me like an adult, something my mother didn't do.
But you certainly didn't behave like a child.
You were being so nice, and I didn't want to be rude.
Well, it was that green sweater.
That's what my mother and I were fighting about.
Well, she must have been right, considering all the years that the image of Mary Ryan has lingered on.
It was a memorable morning all the way around.
Unfortunately, Frank arrived.
He hit you before you had a chance to say a word. And then he dragged me out of the house and gave it to me. Oh,
I thought the first time that you tried to break my nose was the beginning of a most promising relationship.
so did I. Although I'm not sure we had quite the same thing in mind.
Well, perhaps this was meant to be. Maybe it's fate's way of giving us a second chance.
Well, I don't think right at the moment.
No, I didn't mean that. But, look, if you'd like to get away from the hospital later on and think a drink might help, I'd be more than glad to buy you one.
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Well, a change of pace might help.
Oh, just a minute. Here's Delia. Hello, Dee.
Oh, hello, Mary. Hello, Dr. Coleridge. Mr. Finelli was by the house, and he was asking some questions. That was okay, wasn't it?
I don't think you could say anything that would hurt Frank.
No, everything I said was nice. I mean, what else could I say?
It's okay, then. Jack won't write anything bad about Frank. Is he still around, or did he go back downtown?
Well, he just stopped to make a phone call. He said he's coming up.
Oh, thanks. Will you tell Mother I'll be in pretty soon?
If you'd like. Is he any better?
There's no change at all.
Look, I know you feel that you should be here,
Yes.
but you've also got to think of yourself. Now, what I prescribe...
Hello, Jack. Thanks for coming by.
Wanted to see how you were.
Well, don't worry about Mary. Whenever she's around the hospital, I keep an eye on her.
Wednesdays this fall.
I'm 39 and alone. I want my life to change.
From the creator of Grey's Anatomy
I want to have a baby.
comes a new series
This is Addison, post-McDreamy, post-McSteamy.
about doctors whose private lives need a little practice.
Let's never make anything.
Kate Walsh,
You want me to kiss you again?
I'm not interested.
You're interesting.
Private Practice, coming Wednesdays this fall on ABC. Start here.
Somewhere between clean and fresh is a feeling that's simply wonderful. Introducing a fresh touch of goodness for your fabrics. New Tide Pure Essentials with baking soda. And new Downy and Bounce Pure Essentials with aloe and white lilac scent. Clean, soft, fresh. Pure Essentials.
They're all doing it. Even my car's been doing it.
But everyone loves their cars. They'll never believe it.
We have to do something. Esurance Auto Insurance can help.
Calculate your carbon emissions and find out easy ways to reduce them.
The average commuter produces a 3.4-ton cloud of CO2 emissions. By carpooling, you can cut that in half.
Special agent, we can all do our part.
The road to change starts here.
Visit esurance.com/SOS to find out how you can help save some green.
Here at the phone company, you've been our customer for a long time. Now Vonage wants to change all that.
Well, over 2 million people have already switched to Vonage.
Oh, really? Don't they miss having phone service?
Actually, with Vonage, you get the #1 rated digital phone service with unlimited local and long-distance calls for just $24.99 a month. What do you charge?
It's simple, really. It starts with different basic rates, long-distance fees, and of course, different packages have different features, and some
Vonage has over 25 features, and they're included for no extra charge.
For me, Vonage is everything I want in a phone service.
It's dependable. It's perfect.
No nickels and dimes like the phone company.
Sign up now with Vonage and get 1 month free. Enjoy clear digital phone sound quality using your high-speed internet connection.
Okay, but making a change is hard, and for over 100 years, the only thing we've changed is...
Your prices?
Whoa!
Call 1-800-570-1614 or go online to betterwaytophone.com.
We will stand and fight. This is madness. This is Sparta! A new age has begun. An age of freedom. And all will know that 300 Spartans gave their last breath to defend it.
300. Now available from DirecTV pay-per-view movies.
Hello, Dee. I left the baby with JP. Mary's outside. She'll be in a couple of minutes.
Fine.
I wanted to come by. I really did want to come by, but
Darling, we understand.
it's very hard for me to see him like that.
That's because you care about him.
Well, I do care. That newspaper man was by the house, And he was asking me all these questions about when Frank and I were first married. I remembered so many things.
You and Frank in that cold water flat.
Partly that, but mainly about us.
Of course.
It was the happiest day of my life when I married Frank. I felt like a queen. And I felt safe and protected. And I just wanted to make him as happy as he was making me.
You never stopped talking the whole day.
I was going to be the best wife. I was going to have the most beautiful home, right out of a magazine. And I was going to give dinner parties, and we would go out together. Sorry, it didn't work. I'm sorry.
Being married and having dreams about being married are two different things. But it can be just as good in its own way.
I wanted to tell him how sorry I am.
Sorry? For what?
That I disappointed him. Sorry that when he got up in the morning, he couldn't find a clean pair of socks. Sorry for all the money I spent. I know I shouldn't have. And sorry because I couldn't be the person he wanted me to be.
Well, all young wives have those kinds of feelings.
Most of all, I'm sorry that when I really wanted to be loving and proud, it just came out jealous.
Of the school and his books, you mean?
I was so scared the first night he came home from law school. He was so excited about property and torts, and I hated them both.
Darling, you just feel left out.
I tried to keep up with him. Sometimes in the beginning when he would come home to study, I would ask him if he could try to explain certain things to me. I didn't understand a thing.
Oh, dear.
And after a while, we both gave up. Oh, I was so bad.
No. That's one thing you're not. You're never bad.
No. I was bad. You see, I was afraid that he would grow away from me. So I would try to grab him and hold on to him. This is really awful, but I used to pray that he would fail an exam just so he could stay home with me. Instead of loving him and giving him all the things he needed and wanted, I just was concerned about me. Am I losing him? I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
All this time, you've loved him more than any of us could thought.
It was a very selfish love.
It's not selfish to want your husband near you.
No, the trouble was, I wanted him to be another person, and he wanted me to be different also. I tried. I really, really tried. Do you know, I would clean up the whole house, and all the things that used to upset him so much, I would have my hair done, and I would go by the perfume counter at the drugstore, and I would get free samples. And then he would call. He would say that he'd have to go out, shake hands for the primary.
Well, that would be a disappointment for anyone.
So I would go home, and I would sulk and cry. I know I should have been with him.
Darling, you had the baby to look after.
Well, somebody else could have looked after the baby. I should have been with him. I should have been by his side every second. I know things would have been different.
Delia, don't give up on Frank. He's not gone. With the grace of God, you'll have your chance yet.
I wish I could believe that. But I don't.
Ryan's Hope is next, then Dangerous Desires ignite on days. Later, Little Lies lead to big trouble on AMC, only on SoapNet.
I have got the greatest news.
Every weekday, spend twice the time with the gang from Beverly Hills.
What a way to get acquainted.
With 2 episodes of 90210.
I'm gonna go call Callie. No, Donna. I'll call Dylan.
Double the Dylan, double the David, double the Donna.
You can just call us the 3 Ds.
Catch back-to-back episodes of 90210 today at 3 with another episode at 4 only on SoapNet.
What can I say, man, other than on a double date?
What's new in Landview? Here's what you need to know.
I've invited Miles to move in with us.
We've severed just about every tie between us except one, and I think it's time to cut that one too.
I'll be a martyr for the cause. But my only regret is that I didn't finish what I started. I'm gonna kill you, Harmon.
Mike, I know who Tommy really is. I know he's Todd Manning's lost son.
Keep up to date with One Life to Live. Weeknights at 9 on SoapNet.
Still, how does Tidy Cat's litter work?
Well, each granule is formulated to absorb quickly and lock in odor better than ever.
So can I invite some friends?
Yes.
Tidy Cats. Multiple strengths for multiple cats.
Wake up!
New Clean and Clear Morning Burst Shine Control Cleanser with bursting beads and lemongrass to wake you up and help control shine.
I'm up.
So your skin feels clean, fresh,
Try this on. I love it.
and shine free for hours and hours. Rise and don't shine.
I like that. It's cute.
With Morning Burst Shine Control Cleanser. Clean and clear and under control.
Happy peanuts soar over chocolate-covered mountaintops and waterfalls of caramel. Prancing nougat in the meadow sings a song of satisfaction to the world.
I wasn't exactly worried about Mary because if there's one thing I've learned in recent days, it's that Mary Ryan can take care of herself.
I've got you convinced?
Totally.
You're terrific, Finelli. No wonder my sister liked you so much.
Sister's a nice girl. We had a great time together. When was that? 6 years ago?
It's nice that you remember.
What happened?
I don't know.
Roger's hurt his nose. It may be broken.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, Raj, don't you stand there. You should see a doctor.
Very funny.
It's probably a good idea. I don't like the look of that nose. Well, besides, I just collected some new background material on Frank. I'd like to check it out with Mary.
Sure.
I hope you realize that anything you say to him in the strictest confidence will wind up being read by over 2 million readers.
Roger, you keep that up and you will have a busted nose.
I must have hit a nerve.
Roger, Jack isn't going to write anything bad about Frank.
I keep wondering how you can be so sure. Since I can't remember the last time I read one of Finelli's columns that had anything good to say about anyone.
Well, what do you know? Another faithful reader.
You make a living by poking holes in people's reputations. He does, Mary.
It's my job to explain to people that any politician is more than a handshake and a pretty face.
So you like to expose what's really going on. And what are you going to say about Frank Ryan?
Well, right now, all I've got are some questions.
And when you find out the answers, we'll all read about them.
Roger, Jack and I have spent a lot of time on this, and I trust him.
About politics, anyway.
Well, in one word, don't.
Listen, Roger, I know you're only thinking of me, and I know you have my best interests at heart. But Jack is going to write about Frank, and I just want to make sure that the information he collects is true, because the truth will never hurt Frank.
Well, this is serious now, Mary. It's no more fun and games. Please be careful.
It's all right, Roger.
I hope so.
Will I see you later?
Sure. Okay. Look, the lady trusts you, Finelli. And I hope that means something to you.
He's just a little annoyed because you happened to come in just when he was asking me out for a drink.
Oh? Well, do I have to tell you that you can't trust him?
I thought you just said I could take care of myself.
Well, I don't know about against all comers. He's pretty smooth.
He's a nice person, and he likes me. And he saved Frank's life when he found him on the staircase.
You saying you're involved with him?
I'm not involved with anybody.
I hope that's not a permanent condition.
So do I.
I love to see you laugh. Hey, listen. I really would like to check out a few things with you. You suppose we could get out of here for a little while and grab something to eat, talk?
Delia and Mother are in with Frank. I suppose I could come back later. Where are we going?
Anywhere. I could make you a terrific hamburger at my place.
No, Jack.
Okay. How about a delicatessen spread in Riverside Park?
That sounds neat.
What's your favorite delicatessen treat? Name something expensive.
Well, I must say, I do have a weakness for whitefish.
Catholic who likes fish. Will wonders never cease?
You know, I can't figure you out. One minute you're saying you're going to buy me this terrific treat, and the next minute I get a cynical comment.
Well, you did it to me just a little while ago.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
What did I do?
Well, you said you weren't involved with anyone, and I was more or less hoping that you might be a little bit involved with me.
Oh?
And I thought that if you were, or there was the slightest chance, I was going to buy you some whitefish.
You were?
Yeah. So, what'll it be?
Well, I don't see any reason why we shouldn't have a picnic in the park. And I think a piece of whitefish would be lovely.